One. How we doing, everyone? Welcome back to another edition of FSI's NHL DFS preview show. I am your host, TK Nation 47, joined by McKinley 412. McKinley, how are you doing? It's good to get back together, and we're looking at a fun Saturday slate.
Yeah, feeling good. I mean, I love these larger slates that we have. A lot of massive favorites, but sadly, it looks like the chalk is going to be going up against our two teams here. So give us through the money line favorites, and we'll go on from there.
Yeah, so we have Carolina going up against your Sabres, big 300 favorite at home. Sabres, as we know, been giving up goals lately. Colorado, big favorite here versus Ottawa on the road, 235. Washington against the defenseless Blue Jackets right now. That's up to 230, but we have it here as 220. And then Nashville, 210 against a lowly Montreal team. And then a surprise one, the Rangers on a back-to-back over 180 versus the Chicago Blackhawks. I think we're both on the same page that game's a little odd in its favors. But yeah, give me some game totals and your thoughts on the big faves.
Yep. So this Colorado-Ottawa game is 6.5 favorite. These two teams matched up. It was like a week or two ago when they played a 7-5 game.
Yeah.
So these guys can definitely have some goals generated. Kind of poor defenses on both sides here, especially with Colorado having probably Johansson in net. I think Ottawa's going to be able to generate some goals at home for sure. So I kind of like the over in that one. As far as everything else, it's pretty straightforward. I do agree with you, though. I think the Rangers at minus 180 is a little odd, being on the back-to-back, going up against Chicago, who has looked much better lately. And like I said, I don't know if we said Shesterkin went down last night, so there's going to be Georgiev in net. I think his save percentage this season is what, 870. It's horrendous.
He is at a 88.867 right now. So
yeah, that's not good. So I think Chicago should definitely be definitely closer to a pick'em money line. So if you are doing betting, I kind of like the Chicago side here.
Yeah, great call there. Cool matchup between Toronto and Minnesota. Toronto's really good, really hot right now. Minnesota as well. It probably should be like your favorite hockey game outside of fantasy wise to watch tonight. But yeah, there could be goals in that game, but I think both teams are just playing so well. I'm not sure where to go other than the studs. So I would be cautious with value in that game because it could be a really tough hockey game. All right, moving on to our favorite picks. Cash targets and GPP targets. I'm going to start us off with McKinnon at 75. He's kind of a cash and GPP target, just really tough at the center position today to find plays. I think it's really going to be about guys you take at the top, and you can take both of the guys we have listed here as our favorite plays. But yeah, McKinnon is just lights out, big time on the assists this year. Hasn't been scoring goals lately, but I think that's going to start to even out as the season moves on. He did battle a lower body injury for most of the beginning of the season, so he is just skating back to his normal self. And I think a fun matchup in Ottawa should be a good game to get back on the goal tally. So I think Nate McKinnon can have a huge game, and 7,500 is a really cheap price tag too to get. And I think it's actually think he's 89. I think we might have that one wrong here. I just want to double check here, make sure. Yeah, he is 8,900. So you had me fooled for a second. I thought 7,500. Oh my gosh, it's a lock and load. But yeah, 8,900. It doesn't matter what the price tag is on McKinnon. You're playing him with his favorite pals, Landeskog, maybe Makar or Rantanen. So give me your thoughts on that and your favorite cash target.
Yeah, I mean, McKinnon at 8,900, great play. At 75, it would be a lock. So little whoopsie in the editing department there, but we'll move on.
Yeah, no worries.
Sebastian Aho here at 7.7K, going up against Buffalo. Sabres, defensively, a disaster. So Anderson, their top starting goalie, he's been out. He's going to be out month to month now. Tokarski, he's on COVID protocol. Arundel, a disaster. Now they're turning to Subban. who they just claimed off waivers the other day. So
Yeah.
even so, I mean, the Sabres are allowing over 5 goals per game in their past 8 games. It's just absurd. So Carolina's going to absolutely throttle them tonight. And it would not shock me if this guy gets a multi-point, multi-goal game here. Aho is just insane. He's insane. He's good. But yeah, there's nothing else to say about him. So we'll just move on to Larkin for Detroit. Larkin's been doing really well here. He's got, I think it's like 4 multi-point games in his past 8 or 9. Got points in his 8 or of 9. So I do like his spot here. I think Detroit's going to be able to generate some goals at home. So I do like him at this price tag. But like you said, center is kind of a gross position here tonight.
Yeah.
I'm not really too thrilled about anything below that, like McKinnon, Aho sort of spot.
Right.
So if you do want to go center, I'm maybe want to pay up, but I don't know. It's ugly all around, even up in that top range. So give us some GPP targets that you like, and then we'll wrap things up.
Yeah. So I think my play at center will probably just come down to what line stack I like. And I'm going to start here with Granlund at 5,100. I really like his line mates, Forsberg and Duchesne. This Nashville line has been unbelievable of late. I watched him put in 4 against Columbus at home on a weekend last weekend. So I'm going right back to that with thought and theory here with Nashville versus Montreal, a team that's just been leaking oil at the back end. They've been giving up a ton of goals and shots. And I think this line here is going to be up for a great matchup. And Granlund doing very well this year, 20 assists on the season. So he's done his part at the center position. I like that at 5,100. I'm going to go with the same theory here on Washington, but I'm going to go Lars Eller, try to save some salary in this matchup and hope that, Kuznetsov and the boys don't destroy me. But I'm going to try to take Lars Eller 3,400. Last time he played the Jackets on the 12th of November, he had 2 assists, 2 shots on goal. He knows his team well. They had, a long playoff series not too long ago. He was in that. He had a big part of it. I remember him scoring goals against us, really crushing us in that series. So I think he's like a little Blue Jackets killer. You're going to get him at 3,400. I think that's a steal. Your thoughts on that and your favorite value for the center position?
Yeah, I love the Nashville call here. I think they could go a little under the radar just with all the massive stud names in big favorite spots like Carolina and Colorado and Washington. I think Nashville can easily go under the radar, and they've looked a lot better this season than I think people are recognizing.
Yeah.
So I like that Nashville call there. As far as cash down value play, we're gonna go with Stützle, 3.1K. This Ottawa Colorado game, I think, is going to see a lot of goals. I think it's going to go over that 6.5 total. Stützle plays on that second line. He's a second line center, but he plays on that top power play unit for Ottawa. And I think that's extra important here tonight. Colorado, surprisingly, is a bottom 5 penalty kill so far this season. So I think Ottawa is going to be able to generate some power play. I'm obviously power play threat. But it would not surprise me if they, light the lamp on the power play once or even twice here tonight. So I do think it's 3.1K. He's not going to be burning your wallet or anything. So, he shoots the puck. If he only gets 3 shots on net at 3.1K, it's not going to absolutely ruin your cash lineup. Obviously, for GPP, it would be a disaster. But for, if you're playing double ups or anything, at that price range, if you're only going to get 4.5 or 6 points out of just block shots and shots on net, it's not going to absolutely throw you under the bus. So don't mind him at 3.1K.
Yeah, nice.
Let's
Moving
turn
on
over to the winger here.
Yeah. Go ahead.
Turn over to the winger. Alex Ovechkin. There's nothing else to say about this guy. He's the ageless wonder in the NHL. 9.6K, you're going to be looking for around 18 to 20 DraftKings points, kind of minimum for cash lines. But going up against Columbus, we know about Columbus's struggles defensively, letting up handfuls of goals in multiple games lately. So he's got to be over a 50% chance to score a goal here tonight. And then getting another goal or another assist combined with his shots on net, I think he'll easily get to that, 22K point. So Ovechkin at 9.6K, I'm always a little hesitant paying up this high in cash, but I think the matchup and just the run he's been on, I think, I don't mind playing him at this price. But you're going a little lower to Guentzel. So tell us a little bit about that.
Yeah, so Gensel's been unbelievable of late. Last 10 games have been something special. 12, he's got 23, 12, 21, 9, 15 versus Vancouver, 23, 21, 18, 19, and 14 in his last 10 games. He scored in back-to-back games on this Canadian trip versus Calgary and Edmonton, and now he's getting a Vancouver matchup that's softer than the last two. 10 goals on the season, 10 assists. Getzel has been the main driver for this Pittsburgh team when it comes to when they win. When he wins, he scores well over 20 points. You're going to get, a significant discount here from Ovechkin. That's why I like them as a GPP target salary saver to help you pay up elsewhere. If Ovechkin scores 2 to 3 goals, you're going to want that in your cash lineup. But if Getzel can get about the equivalent to what Ovechkin can score tonight, then I think in GPPs, the salary that you get in saving from him will then, help you possibly have a better lineup when it comes to an optimal standpoint. Other than that, I like Forsberg at 6,600 to go along with my Nashville theory tonight. Potted 4 against the Blue Jackets last weekend himself. I definitely think he gets on the score sheet tonight. Him and Granlund and Duchesne, they should be I think one of the top scoring lines. And Forsberg, high shot on goal volume as well, under 7K. I think that's a steal for the price tag. Tell me about your favorite cash targets for the winger position.
Yeah, Tom Wilson, 4.9K. He's seen a price reduction here pretty strongly. Now he's not on that top line anymore. He's not with Ovechkin and Kuznetsov. So he did get bumped down to that second line in place of Protas, who's now on the top line. But still, Wilson, I think on the second line has looked a lot better. I don't know if it's just more of his role or play style or what, but he's been generating some points in the handful of games that he's been on that second line. He's got 7 points in his past 5 games. And at 4.9K, I don't mind him at all. He's not going to get you the shot on goal bonus or anything, but if he can get you 3 shots on net, which is totally likely, and then get on the end of a goal or an assist, I think he's a fine play in this mid tier. And then Nichushkin for Colorado at 3.7K. I've already said it before. I think this Colorado Ottawa game is going to see a lot of goals. Nichushkin, he's got points in 8 of his past 10 games. So goals, it's been assists. He's been doing very well lately. He's shooting the puck. Plays on that second power play unit for Colorado, plays on the second line for Colorado. So he's seeing ice time combined with all that, everything together, 3.7K. I don't mind him in this spot at all. But you're going with Nino Niederreiter, one of the best names in hockey.
Love this guy. I really like Nichushkin. I think that's a great call. Playing him with Kadri Burakovsky. I think that's a solid play. I play him quite often, especially like on late slates. Everyone's always quick to stack McKinnon and not Rantanen, and you just play a little value. Colorado right there usually pays off pretty well. But Niederreiter in his last 5, 6, 7, 12, 9, and 6. I think that's pretty decent for a 3K play. 4 shots on goal in his last game, 4 goals, 3 assists on the year. He's getting an easier matchup in Buffalo. He's a bottom 6 winger. So he's going to play up against, probably not the first line or the second line, some of the better defenders. So he could very well have a good opportunity tonight to see more ice time in a matchup like this where it could get away from him quickly and he could get on the ice quicker than initially thought. And I think Nino could be someone to pot in 1 and then you're sailing for, at 3K. Not my, total GPP play, not necessarily a cash play by any means. So moving on to defender, I'm going to start with Devon Taves at 56. I think Colorado going to have a really good opportunity here on the defense to score with their defenders. Really, really known for that throughout the NHL is how well they can do scoring from the defender position. Taves 12. He does have a floor game of 1, 14, 10, 9, and 16 in his last 6 matchups. In 10 games, he's got 3 goals and 8 assists. Taves sets up really well versus Ottawa in a game that we know is going to be high volume. And then Mo Cedar here at 5,400, 18 in his last matchup versus the New York Islander, or last game, with 2 assists. He's got 14 assists on the year, 41 block shots. So that's really his MO. Block some shots, help out with some helpers, and come away to value. Not my favorite play, but I definitely think he could be one to score more than the gentleman that you have. So tell me a little bit about your targets, probably more of my favorite targets here on a weak position today.
Yep. Cale Makar, 8.2K. Makar is just a winger, essentially. I mean, it is crazy what offense this guy's been able to generate. Scoring goals, assists, shots on goal bonus, block shots, everything. He does it all. It's incredible. 8.2K, I will admit, it's a little bit high for me. I was kind of hesitant to put him in here. But I think just given the matchup, given the total of this game and what this guy can do, he's clearly the top defenseman here tonight. Going down to Slavin 5.1K for Carolina. Carolina on that blue line, they're missing a lot of guys, most notably Tony DeAngelo, who's been out, and Slavin's kind of been thrust into that top defender role for Carolina. Carolina team who's a 305 favorite. They're probably going to score at least 4, possibly. It wouldn't surprise me if they score 5 or more goals tonight. So you're getting kind of a discount at just 5.1K for a top defenseman offensively for the team. And I think it's just a great spot for him. And then my value play is going to be McCabe, facing the Rangers. McCabe on Chicago. He's a former Sabre. He's a block shot, kind of guy. He's gonna be threatening for that block shot bonus all the time. I like the spot here just because Rangers, Shesterkin is out, but that doesn't impact the play in front of them. They're still going to be shooting the puck a whole lot. McCabe's going to be asked to kind of defend and kind of shut down those shot producers on the Rangers. So I like McCabe here at 2.9K, just as kind of like a value punt play in a defender position that, is kind of tricky here tonight, like you mentioned. But you're going to a different guy at 2.9K, Jensen. Tell us about him.
And Nick Jensen for Washington here in the last game versus the Blue Jackets. He had 12 with an assist. Guy can put up a lot of shots on goal. He's got 38 on the year, 3 goals, 6 assists. He is a second-line defenseman with Dmitry Orlov, but those guys do pretty well on the offensive end too. If we're expecting a lot of goals for Washington, which we are, I can expect Jensen to be in the fold. Another guy that knows this matchup well. It's just going to be a real bloodbath. I feel like for the Columbus Blue Jackets today. A lot of these Washington players know this team well and know exactly where to attack. And Columbus been leaking a lot of fantasy points to defenders lately. So yeah, Jensen could be one of the steals here on the offensive end for the defender position if he can get one of those assists or possibly a goal, which I know he can. I go to Jensen from time to time, and usually I get him right. So hopefully I'm continue to be the Jensen whisperer, and he pots one of those goals for me. Even against my own team.
What's happened to us this season?
I don't know.
I mean, we started off saying, Buffalo, Columbus are the greatest teams ever. And it took all of 1 month for us to be like, just play the entire team that is going up against Columbus or Buffalo. I mean,
I know.
It started off so good, and then reality set in, and it's just been terrible.
Yep. A couple of key injuries, some defensive miscues, and now we're back to where we started, right?
Bottom of the barrel. All right.
It was fun while it lasted. All right.
Yeah, we're
favorite line stack.
That's what we're doing.
Yeah. Favorite line stacks. I've been talking
As far as
about it
favorite
in
line
Nashville.
stacks, I'm going to be going with this.
Go ahead.
Yeah, favorite line stacks. I'm going to go with Washington. Wow, I could not think of the team right there. Ovechkin, Kuznetsov, Protas. Obviously, Carolina, high on the radar for me. But the thing with Carolina is that they're just so spread out in scoring. It's tough to really target one specific line with them. It would not shock me if all four of their lines somehow end up on a goal tonight.
Sure.
But as far as Washington, you kind of know where the goals are going to be coming from. So in a team that's probably going to produce just as much offense as Carolina, I'm going to go with the more targeted Ovechkin, Kuznetsov. And Protas, he's been doing pretty well as of late. He's been getting on some helpers. He got his first NHL goal the other day. So, no, I don't mind him going there. But obviously, it's more Ovechkin and Kuznetsov here. And then GPP, you like Nashville.
Yep. Surprise, surprise. Been talking about him all video. Forsberg, Granlund, Duchesne. Duchesne was the guy I didn't speak about, but he is just as good. Really fast skater. Could be in the mix for both goals and assists. I think it's critical you play all three in this line stack because typically when these guys score, they score together. And you can also substitute Roman Josi as well. And for any one of these guys, or even play all four if you feel like it's really going to go nuts like it did against Columbus last weekend. But Josi, definitely a threat, but you're just going to have to pay quite a bit for someone like Josi. But this line's fairly cheap too, all under 6,500. I think that makes for a great way to put this line stack together with maybe like a solo McKinnon or something like that. And it's still doable to figure out the rest of your lineup. All right, guys. That'll probably wrap things up for today. Please like this video, comment below with any comments. Very well appreciated. Thank you for listening in. You can follow me on Twitter at TKNation47. You can follow McKinley at McKinley_412. All right, guys. Thank you again. Get to us on the website, get to the Discord, fsidfs.com, and get into the Discord for all the player pools, the core breakdowns, and everything closer to lock. All right, guys. Thank you so much and enjoy your day.